Yo, what is up, 5'9" gamers? It is time once again for the Dokkan Battle podcast. This is episode 44, Pure Saiyan Power. And it is your boy, the Masked Ningen, back as the host once again. And I have two very special guests here with me this week. We have DaTruth and Minato. Say hello, boys.
5'9" gamers, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, so we are, as you can tell by the title, Pure Saiyans is the topic of the week. So the newest released Dokkan Fest exclusive on JP is the STR Super Vegeta. I know, Truth, you've already gotten a couple of videos out with him now. So yeah, I will give you the floor. What are your initial thoughts on Super Vegeta?
He is very, very good. Much better than I would anticipate that they would make like any TUR right now. I think he's comfortably the best TUR. I think he's better than any of the EZA units. I think he's better than Videl. I think he's better than the Dokkan Fest GT Super Saiyans. Guaranteed crit is very, very difficult to make an argument against. That's what I would say about that. And he's got a pretty good leader skill, right? Got a solid link set. He's on a bunch of teams. Like it's not a lot of holes to punch in him.
Yeah, it's like very, very hard to find a weakness in his actual unit kit. Like the only thing you could really probably say is that first attack he'll take in the first slot. Maybe he'll take a ton of damage, especially if you get unlucky and get hit with the super. But that's basically almost like, you could almost say nitpicking because of everything else he does. Like I said, like a lot of units, you know, could maybe not even output the same damage he does. But on top of that, he leads Pure Saiyans, which we've been waiting for a new Pure Saiyans leader since basically transforming Vegeta, honestly. And it's 170%. He's just absurd. And his active skill turn, he also becomes that's where he really, really becomes stupid.
Yeah, it's very interesting to see that after waiting all this time and then finally getting a 170 lead for Pure Saiyans, that not only are they finally giving us that leader skill, which obviously is going to make Pure Saiyans one of the top tier teams, if not the best in the game, but they made the unit himself incredibly powerful.
I think number one, for sure.
Because who would you have said was number one before this new leader skill for Pure Saiyans?
I probably would have said Kamehameha.
Yeah,
I agree too.
Pairing them together, I guess obviously a lot of some of the strongest units on Kamehameha are also Pure Saiyans. So yeah, very, very crazy. Because I've been out for most of the day, but I did see your 55% showcase video, and I think, didn't you say that like other than LRUI Goku, who's widely considered the best unit in the game, Vegeta would be like the next best 55% unit?
Yeah, because I mean, again, 100% chance to crit. Like us. I like what more could you ask for, right? Like it's the damage he's outputting even at 55% is crazy. Now at 55%, you know, you definitely want to keep him out of slot 1 for sure. At Rainbow, there's definitely a lot of situations I think you can get away with it, especially if it's only maybe like one hit, like before he attacks. But yeah, it's just because Goku like is like even at 55%, like defensively he's a god and he could still crit and additional and do everything, but Super Vegeta is crazy. He's very, very nutty, man.
Another thing with him is that people probably tend to think his defense is way lower than it actually would end up being. Because his defense like almost over than doubles after he supers and gets hit. And people look at that like 130k, 150k a defense stat before he attacks and it's like, oh, he sucks defensively, when it's not true at all.
Yep.
Plus, that's the thing. There are a few units in the game that can do a little bit of everything, but I mean, with the numbers that he hits, if one of the only flaws that you can pick is that if he takes a super attack as the first attack in slot 1, then he might take a lot of damage. Well, I mean, that's a lot of units in the game that are also not doing the same kind of damage that he does. So if that's one of his only like flaws, that's not really all that bad, you would say. So yeah, Pure Saiyans, I noticed that obviously he has super good links with the GT Vegeta that just came out recently, who is of course another one of the top tier TURs in the game. I think the only link they're missing is Saiyan Pride, which is unfortunate because that is a very strong attack link. Is his other best partner the physical transforming Vegeta, which I guess is a bit of a shame because he's a little bit outdated now. But
nah, I don't look at him. I look at the text Metal Cooler movie Vegeta because I think they have all 7, don't they?
Yeah,
because it's with the transforming Vegeta, it's only for the first 2, right?
Yeah, that
Just
is true.
Super Saiyan and then Super Vegeta.
Yeah, because that tech Vegeta is pretty decent for like things like Super Battle Road because he can stun.
Yeah.
I don't know so much if he's necessarily like the main rotation partner you want for maybe something like the GT Legendary Goku event or the Legendary Vegeta event. I don't know if you've
Hell no.
tried him out or something like that.
No,
but
you're
yeah.
not running him in there. No way.
I mean, I think another good partner for him is STR Kaba because you know how much he provides to him as well. And they share a couple of links.
He's one of the few 50% that holds up. Like him and Kid Gohan, they can go into like the Legendary Vegeta event or these events. Well, actually, nah, Kabe's not going to do it in the Vegeta event, but he could do the GT Goku event.
So, the Minato, did you, how did your summons go? Did you pull a copy of him?
Unfortunately not, but I've been using him as a friend, and I did see Truth's actual videos as well, so, I mean, and pretty clear to see how good he is just on paper, because he's a very simple unit, in all honesty. It's not like he's really complex or anything.
He's a character that you could just, like, feel jumping off the screen, right? Like, it's not like, yeah, it's like, oh, he's doing support right here, and this other little thing is just like, no, he's just like, all right, here's this crit right here every time.
Yeah, there's been a lot of units in the past where you can maybe underestimate them by just reading what they do, and then that changes once you see them in game. But yeah, I definitely agree. As soon as I read what he did when the translations came out, it was, yeah, he definitely seems very good. So you would say comfortably then he is now the new best TUR in the game, not just a meme title.
I agree.
Yep.
Oh, there we go. So,
well, I would have had, I think, Videl and both of the GT Super Saiyans better than the top EZAs. UI Goku, Cooler, Super Saiyan 4 Goku. I did like them better.
Okay.
I think UI Goku's a little bit overrated because he's crazy, but it's once he transforms.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like
sure.
he's good in UI sign, but he's not like top 10 unit in the game good until he transforms.
Yeah.
When he transforms, arguably he can be better.
Yeah, well, when he transforms, I mean, then he's, Super Vegeta level.
Yeah, because like obviously the turn he transforms as well, unless you're in an event that cancels out dodge, then that's a very nice turn. Finally having that EZA on global and getting to use him myself. Yeah, I can see the there's that real difference pre and post transformation for him. So
and he does still have that category leader skill from Roman Gods, which is very good.
Oh yes. So in terms of the Vegeta, obviously his other leader skill, I think the name has changed since I saw the original translation, because I saw a bunch of people memeing on whatever it was we thought the original name was. Because wasn't it it was like Mastered Transformation or something was the first.
Mastered Evolution, yeah. I believe that was Garesh's translation. But what typically happens, Garesh has talked to me about this, is that they'll do, like Dokkan will like Garesh's translation is correct, but Dokkan, like the name they give it doesn't really give you a good indication of what they're going for, right?
Yeah.
The storied figures, Timeless Legends, like debacle was a perfect example of that, right? So but it's like once we saw the list, it was clear it's just characters that train to get a new form, right?
Yeah.
Like the category does make sense. I think besides Majin Vegeta being added, or maybe like Saiyan Saga Kaioken Goku, I feel like the category looks pretty good to me. Like in terms of like characters that should be on, right?
Yeah, I guess if it's actually so I know the wiki thing's not official, but that now says obtained a new form through training. So I guess technically Majin Vegeta wouldn't be on there because
I wouldn't
just
say
from
so. I'd say like Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, but
yeah, but my point is like Vegeta, like he's not really getting like extra power from Babidi, right? It's just that Babidi's just like the influence allowing him to just like not care.
I'm pretty sure he did get extra power, right?
Does he have extra power? I don't know.
Actually, yeah, that's an interesting, because I was always
weaker
under
than
the
Goku, so he was like, in order to catch up with you, I'll go, I'll let Babidi control me.
Yeah, I was under the impression that it did give him a small power boost, but I'm not actually too sure. All right, anyway, I guess, so the important thing and something I've mentioned in the past...
Because real quick, my point with that is that Majin Vegeta is just using Super Saiyan 2, right?
Yes.
Like that's like the more so the point I was talking about with that.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I can see it. So yeah, something I've said about in the past is when they bring out these new categories, I don't really mind too much if they're weird, as long as they combine it with a good one. And obviously, Pure Saiyans is pretty good. So looking at his leader skill as a whole, is there anyone in particular on the Attained Evolution category that you think deserves a spot on his team rather than just running like a pure, full Pure Saiyans build?
I feel like in difficult content, the Golden Friezas are going to be really good. Like, you could just throw, like, AGL Golden Frieza on, like, a Super Battle Road run, the first slot unit, and he'll be good to go. But he just won't link the best with the other team.
You have the Cell Saga Gohan. So, like, honestly, the Tech World Tournament Reward or
Oh, yeah,
the
he's
AGL
good.
LR Gohan. Like, you know, for long content, they'll get the job done, like always.
Yeah, Gotenks is on here as well, actually. He very quickly became a favorite unit of mine because when the category stages came out for global, however many months ago the last set came out, I think I used him in like every single stage that he could be used in. He's a super impressive unit to me. So yeah, he's
You
on
also
there
have
as well.
Skinny Boo, man.
Yeah, try. I guess yeah, he trained
yeah.
to achieve that new form. So yeah, he's on there.
Yeah.
Physical Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is nice, too.
True. Actually, yeah.
Yeah,
Post EZA, he's nice.
He's one though that we definitely can find like 70 Pure Saiyans that probably take over him, but
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
good,
true.
yeah, for sure.
But it's nice
Just
to have
extra
a little
options.
bit of variety in the mix. But yeah, Pure Saiyans definitely looking like an absolute beast of a team now. So the other unit, of course, on the banner that released was the STR Second Form Cell. Now, the interesting thing about this guy, even though obviously, of course, the new Vegeta will be on the Android Cell Saga category, this is the first side banner unit that we've seen in a while that doesn't directly support the category of the actual Dokkan Fest character, because it's not a Pure Saiyans or the New Awakening category support. He's just an Android Cell Saga support unit. So I've read what he does. I haven't actually seen any videos on him yet. So what are your guys' first impressions of the Second Form Cell?
So,
Well, they've done this a few times now because Garlic Jr. right came out with Gohan, and then Goten comes out with Videl. The one thing though is that now that they have established this pattern of like a kick-ass support being on the banner, which is good, right? Because like when was last non-support? It was Zangid. Zangid, I don't. Does she support?
I don't think she
No,
does.
I
No.
don't
All I
think
know is
so.
she sucks.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I think I only
She's
got
in
my
the realm,
first
for
copy
sure.
of her during this anniversary on Global. So
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Congrats.
I got my Bojack and then I was out on that banner.
I think-
so
like, when it comes to the Cell for me, he's like, if you look at him and say he's good or bad, he's definitely good. He has really high defense. He can put up very nice support, and numbers, attack numbers I meant, but the support as well. The only thing I don't necessarily like too much is the other parts of his passive. Like, the high chance of stunning all enemies when there's an Android enemy sounds good on paper, or an Android name enemy. It sounds good on paper, but when you really look into it, he's almost like never gonna get that. And then Android Cell Saga category enemies aren't really too common either. So most of the time he's not really gonna get that damage reduction. And then I don't really think they needed to limit his support to just extreme class allies of the Android Cell Saga category. Like, I understand why, but the category is small enough. I feel like it could have been okay if it was just a full Android Cell Saga support.
Yeah, if it was just, I think the Cell should have just buffed Android category, right? Because I think that would have allowed
Yeah.
him to age better.
Like,
'Cause I
him
would
in Super
imagine-
17.
Yeah, well, yeah, Super 17, like Cell X in the future, some shit like that, right? That would help out a lot more. And then yeah, the stunning against like Android enemies, like that literally only is relevant for him in Transformation Boost Super Battle Road. That's it. That's
Yeah,
the
'cause
only
the-
place
Yeah,
you
it just
can
that
do
one stage.
Yeah.
because yeah,
you
it would
fight a
only
tournament-
include like androids and then the numbers, isn't it? Because it's just with Android in
Yeah.
their name. So 16,
Yep.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, I guess in her Dokkan event. But in some of those events, you can't stun
And
anyway.
even then, it's just a high chance, so it might not even proc.
Yeah, because it's the Jiren passive, isn't it? STR Jiren, like just stuns
Yeah,
everybody on the
pretty much.
rotation. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that does seem like a weird design choice because there's not many places you're gonna encounter that. But yeah, I guess as a support unit, he seems pretty good. Numbers are solid overall. So Interesting side banner unit. I probably wouldn't say he stacks up against some of the crazy ones that we've seen recently, but I would need to see him in action a bit more personally.
Yeah, I think
He's-
I think he's comparable, but I think I would say like Trunks and Goten,
Yeah, that's-
Goten and Gohan,
yeah.
Garlic Jr. are probably better.
Yep.
Because their support passes are just better in the ends.
Yes.
I think Cell's better than Goten. I would say that.
Yeah, that Goten.
Yeah, I agree.
Obviously, we haven't got him yet, so I haven't seen all of what he can do. But yeah, he seems not quite on that same level. I mean, you talk about the GT Go Bros, as I keep calling them, the GT Gohan and Goten. I used on like the tech teams for the different God events. Like I put them on my team even if I don't have any GT heroes for them to support because
Yes.
they're just that good. So,
Their defense gets really high after they super attack. It's higher than people think.
Yep, single super
way
attack on the Gohan team, the Hybrid Saiyans team, and they take double-digit damage from Belmod. So, pretty
Yeah.
good.
And they get triple super and greatly raise their defense 3 times.
Yep.
So, and they have like cold judgment and stuff too. It's pretty good.
Yeah, very, very strong unit. So, speaking of Vegeta, obviously another big update that we've had on JP, something we talked about way, way back when the Legendary Goku event first came out. And then for the longest time, it seemed like they weren't actually going to do another one. And then I think we talked about it on a podcast a long time ago, but they released that Infinite Dragon Ball History stage where you just fight against all the different forms of Buu. And that was almost like a Legendary Buu event. So when that came out, it honestly made me think that they were never actually going to do another one. But we finally got another one. We have the Legendary Vegeta event. So what do you think of this off the bat? Obviously, I know it's similar to the Goku event, but what are your thoughts so far?
I think it's harder than the GT one, personally. Just because the last phase, it's massively lowering defense is so, like, so like, I can't think of the word, but it just really disrupts your rotations and your units. And then you basically can't bring STR units for the last phase most of the time because you get demolished, you know?
Yeah, that super attack is it's a lot of times it's GG. Like it really is very problematic, I would say. I will say though, he is much squishier than Super Saiyan 4 Goku, right? He goes down
Yes.
way faster.
It feels like he has a
Saiyan
lot
4
less
Goku.
HP or damage reduction or something.
Yeah.
So you'd say like he hits harder, but he dies faster, essentially.
It's like he hits like basically at the same level as the Goku, but he's lowering your defense. So
Yeah,
it's like once he supers, you're dead, basically.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet because isn't it? It's massively low as defense. It's like minus 80% or something. So
Yep.
Yes.
yeah,
I,
For
I
3
guess the
turns.
way it works, the way it works is it's apparently it's RNG. It's either 1, 2, or 3 turns when he does it to you. Apparently. So
Interesting. Okay.
yeah, and so unfortunately, that's where you can be at the mercy of RNG because if you're taking like 4 or 5 attacks in one slot, that turn is going to play out very differently, whether if it's the first or the 5th attack that is a super attack. Because yeah, that can be the end of your run right there. So obviously, with I can't remember if they actually had all those missions when the Goku one first came out, but they added them over time, and so the Vegeta one has released with missions for specific categories. So it's nice to see that Attained Evolution is actually one of them, the new one. And then Powerful Comeback, Other World Warriors, Worthy Rivals, Siblings Bond, Joined Forces, and Gifted Warriors. So out of those that you've tried, I don't know if you guys have tried all of them. Are any of these, do you think, are super easy? Any of them super difficult? What are your thoughts on the missions?
I would say compared to like, if we're going to compare them to like the GT Legendary Goku event missions, these ones are probably easier. Because like GT Legendary Goku event has like corroded body and minds, for example, which, you know, global, the Universe 7 actual mission, people were struggling as well because you didn't have the anniversary units yet. If I had to say from these ones, which one would be the hardest out of the ones there, I would maybe say, because like, maybe like, I don't know if I would be Other World Warriors or Worthy Rivals.
I think it would probably be Otherworld War. Like most players will probably have the most trouble with that one because
That's what I was
most players are
thinking.
probably not likely to have Tech Gogeta, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
And then like maybe
and then
some
it's
people
like
don't
you
have
need-
Frieza either.
You need Angel Golden Frieza. You need Super Saiyan 3 Goku EZA, right? Like that's the toughest one. And like I've been like doing some attempts the Angel Cell and the Dragon Ball Z Angel Frieza, they kind of suck.
Yeah, I was
they
using
get
them today,
crushed in
actually.
there, dude.
They
Yeah,
get
like it's like, all right,
destroyed.
sell stacks, he'll be good. No, he gets destroyed the entire way through. He sucks. So
I thought Frieza was gonna be like, oh, Frieza has 40% damage reduction. He stacks, he'll be good.
40% damage reduction,
just
but he's
gets
getting killed.
destroyed, dude.
It makes no sense. Yeah.
All right. So, have you done all of the missions? I'm assuming. I think you were talking about you doing trying no item runs for them, but have you done all of them?
Yeah, I don't even.
so far?
I don't even try and do them normally. I just go straight to no item. I've done a few
fair.
no item. A couple of them join forces. I was one hit. Dude, 17 Golden Frieza suck. They're so bad. Like they're just awful. It's disgraceful. Like how like they should be way better. They really pissed me off. I was like one turn away, but yeah, again they suck. Yeah, they really make me.
I think maybe if you get like bad RNG in the Attained Evolution stage, if you're running double Super Vegeta, like he'll do a lot of damage, but if he gets hit with a super and then you're just caught off guard, that's gonna be very dangerous.
The thing I'm thinking though is like you can get lucky if you get there, right? You pop his active skill, he double supers. He could probably take off half of that blue Vegeta's health.
Yeah.
the Super Vegeta.
He'll do more than enough damage for sure, because the Vegeta is squishier, like we said.
Yep.
Okay. So, we also got a couple of EZAs. We got some announced that are not out yet, but we did get a couple that are live now, which is the free-to-play Int Yardrat Goku and the STR Android 18, who if I remember rightly, comes from the barbershop.
Yep.
So yeah, these two got their EZAs. I know I've seen all the details for the Goku. He looks pretty solid. I didn't see the upgrade for 18, so let me get her info up here. So what do you guys think? These are obviously two free-to-play options. Did they get good EZAs? Are they usable in harder content? What do you think about these EZAs?
They're two of the best free-to-play units in the game, honestly.
Ooh.
That Goku is ridiculous. Like it's actually just like you gotta do like a double take. Like it's like, whoa, he's really good. Like oddly so, right? Like it's weird how good he is, honestly. Like it's not because like we expect that these LR EZAs are crazy and stuff like that. And 18, I mean androids at this point I would consider like a niche category more than anything, right? But Goku is like Mr. Pure Saiyan, Goku family, Kamehameha like type teams, and they made him really good. I was like, whoa, okay. Maybe because you just have so many options anyway.
Yeah, because there's like a billion Super Saiyan Gokus. It's like you'll see him like do like a 2 points. Like I've seen him around like 2.3-ish million attack stats, kind of. And then he also counters. If he gets a lot of counters off, he has crits in his passive as well. He could be doing pretty good outputs.
But it's ridiculous
reduction.
because, dude, like he's like 200k defense or over, and then he's got damage reduction against normals too. Like he's not
really good.
He's tanking against Evolution Blue Vegeta.
Yeah,
right?
keep in mind he raises his defense for one turn at Super as well.
Yeah,
and he gets stunned in Super Battle Road.
Yeah, he's really crazy. It's again, and you make sure JP players to get it done because he's obviously going to lead into either Prime Battle Trunks, the androids, or Vegeta's EZA, right?
Yes, always very important to get these free-to-play unit EZAs done because that seems to be the trend, that you need a full team of Rainbow fully EZA'd free-to-play units to do those free-to-play LR EZAs. So yeah, definitely. Even if you don't think you're going to use them anytime soon, always a good idea to get those done.
I would say with the 18, though, if we're talking a little bit about the 18, she's solid. When she gets like her attacks built up, she'll be doing pretty decent numbers for sure. And she could also triple super. So like if you think of her like a slot 3 Super Battle Road unit, maybe. I'm not sure how well she'll do in like the Android's extreme stage. But if she triple supers and like lowers attack 3 times, that can be pretty deadly for the opponent.
Yeah, one of the things I've always noticed about the androids stage for Extreme Super Battle Road is it's only really the first turn that is kind of the risky one because almost everybody on that team either builds up damage reduction or lowers attack or does both. So yeah, if she's a decent support unit, she can get up to solid numbers, and like you said, if she triple super attacks, that's a massive debuff to the enemy. So very, very good. So those are the two EZAs that came out with the celebration that are out now. Obviously, another one that got announced. This is really hype for me. This is actually the OG one that I was looking the most forward to. And that is the announcement of the AGL Majin Vegeta getting his EZA. Make sure you guys check out our Twitter. We did put out a form. We are doing a fan-made cards video for that. That's going to be made soon. So if you haven't entered a design yet, you do still have a chance. So make sure you go check that out and fill out a fan-made card if you want to be potentially included in that video. So yeah, AGL Majin Vegeta. What are our hopes and dreams for this man right here?
He's just gonna be good as long as they, like, again, I would say don't make the same mistake with Gohan. So give him a little more attack for sure. Maybe like even make him get some crits on his super attack effects or something, you know? I think something that could be really good too is try to make his AoE better for like World Tournament at the very least. He could be a very good like World Tournament option. Like maybe he gets like, or even Super Battle Road, like 2-3 key per enemy on the field. Just something stupid like that, you know? And then he'll be able to easily get that 18 key if you need it. Again, I would say like, what if they just add like attack and defense plus 150% when he does a super? Like that would be pretty good defensively.
I think like I would like to see them just give him attack and defense at the start of turn. Keep the 150% on super and then give him both attack and defense at the start of turn. Because I think with that LR Gohan, right? It's like when you say like, oh, like all he needs is defense. Like, that's true when thinking about him with a traditional EZA, right? Where these units get a big buff in stats and they get their SA increase and all that. But, like, the LRs don't get the stats increase. So it's like, I would like for them to give him a little damage somewhere as well. Not just defense or something else. But he's on, the thing about Majin Vegeta is he's on 500 team.
Oh, yes.
Right? Like, if they build him, I just make him like Broly, man. Just make him good everywhere on all these teams and shit like that. Like, that's what we want. Just give it to us.
Oh, yes. Because, yeah, I put out a tweet the other day. I love the Super Saiyan 2 category team. I love the tech transforming Vegeta. And so, yeah, now being able to potentially have him as a main rotation partner instead of the STR one, I'm very much hoping that they give him a strong EZA. Because we talked about it in the past when they actually did it, but they gave him the super attack animation upgrade for his 12-key super attack, and it looks really cool now, but, like, that was all they did to him. So he was still a unit that you weren't really using anymore. So it was kind of a shame that he got that nice redo of his super attack animation, but then you still didn't really have much of a reason to run him. So definitely looking forward to that. I agree with Minato. I think some of the fan-made ones I've seen have already featured that kind of thing. His AoE can be difficult to get in certain events if that's what you want to go for. So I think some sort of like key per enemy or something like that would definitely be very useful for him. But
another thing I would say regarding like his attack stats, like definitely want him to hit harder, like than the normal extra 5 super attack effect, because that doesn't really add too much in the end of, like in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
And they don't want to necessarily just increase his actual attack stat like visually. They could give him like some sort of like high chance to crit when he does his 12-key super, guaranteed crit or something like that at the very least, so that increases his actual damage output rather than just the attack stat if they don't want to do that for some reason. But I agree, if they give him like a good 70 to 100% start of turn, he'll be really crazy, dude. With the 150% on super.
imagine if they give him some crazy sort of, because obviously I know the sweet spot for him, if you're attacking a single target, was always to try and get 17 key if you could. Because obviously it gives you the highest key multiplier while still only doing the 12 key super attack. So it'd be interesting if they worked something like that in, where maybe it's like effective against all types if you've got 17 key or something. That could be interesting. But obviously that would only be like a little extra bonus. They don't want to give him like just that, because then half the time if you can't get 17 key, then you're just not going to see it. But something like that as like the icing on the cake, I think would be pretty cool. But
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty interesting. So in terms of the other new units, we do also have upcoming EZAs for all of the I say all the Peppy Girls. It's kind of like all the unfeatured pool Peppy Girls, isn't it? Pretty much. Not all of them, but like the OG ones. So
yeah,
it's
like 5 of them.
Yeah, it's like Videl, AGL Mai, STR Pan, Physical Bulma. Who's the other one I'm forgetting?
Android 18.
Android
Tech
18.
Android.
Tech Android 18, that's it, yeah. So we haven't got their details yet, have we? But
Nope.
No,
that
no,
is,
because them and Majin Vegeta, they're like 2 weeks away almost.
so yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting. Who do you think has the potential to be the best out of? I mean, obviously, EZAs, they could do absolutely anything, but in terms of what they're like now and potential upgrades that we could see, what do you think we're going to see out of these units?
The one in particular that really intrigues me is Bulma, because they just dropped that Kid Goku and Bulma EZA, and they're like insanity. But it's like you have to use them on these like really Dragon Ball Seeker or Dragon Ball Saga, right? So like if they're buffing those teams, like if they make this physical Bulma like absolutely nuts, like that Kid Goku and Bulma, they're ridiculous. So Bulma's the one I'm most interested in, I would say.
I'm thinking of the AGL Majin because she could end up being like a really good support unit. She has a great chance of stunning already, which is pretty good because that's a 2-turn stun since it's on her super attack. Like if she gives all as like key 3 and like 30-40% attack and defense, that would be absurd. She's on a lot of these teams like, Revenge, Earthlings, Battle of Wits, Connected Hopes, Future Saga, but Peppy Girls, even Time Travelers, all of them are on the teams she's on. They could really use an extra buff like that, I feel like. I could definitely see myself using her the most if she becomes like a really good support unit.
Yeah, I find myself using her a lot in the various Super Battle Road stages that she can be used on, over the Int one, because obviously she has the higher chance to stun. The Int one obviously only supports specific category, whereas the Mai supports AGL, so she can be useful for the mono stages as well. I do think that the Int Videl definitely could be interesting as well, because she nerfs the enemy, she gets a big buff as long as she's on a full Peppy Girls team, and she does recover HP from damage that she deals, so she's a pretty solid unit. Obviously, she has the same name as the Dokkan Fest one, so you can't run them on rotation together, but you can still run them on the same team. So obviously that team with the STR Videl as the leader, that team is definitely poised for yet another crazy update, because it's funny how ridiculously powerful that team actually is now with the proper leader skill. Because I think we talked about it in the past, but some of these units, it almost feels like they made some of them as powerful as they did because Peppy Girls didn't really have like a real team. Like for the longest time, we only had a leader that was like 70%. And because the unit that comes to mind when I think of that is the STR Chi-Chi, because she has the Peppy Girls allies 120% defense. So now that they actually have a team with a 170 leader, and some of these units, especially these ones after their EZA, like their defense, even before she comes onto the rotation, is going to be insanely high anyway. And then, yeah, you've got a 120% defense support unit on the rotation. So, Peppy Girls looking pretty
Imagine
strong.
when she gets an EZA. That GT dude.
Yeah.
I would say just to talk about them since they're here already and gonna get EZAs, the Pan and 18, I feel like they're gonna be good and I'm interested to see what they're gonna do. But you can kind of already, like based off their kit, they're already not bad options and you can kind of tell what they're gonna be post EZA. Whereas the other units are kind of a little more bland and it's like, okay, I wonder how they're gonna actually transform them into becoming really good.
Because, yeah, the STR Pan, like, for a long time ago, for, like, Mono STR, she was obviously, like, the best link partner for B-Pan, who is, of course, incredibly good now that she's got her EZA. So, definitely be interesting to see how good the Pan is post-EZA. The problem, of course, is a lot of the time you just run Pan as, like, a floating unit for some heals and, obviously, her active skill. With the teams that she's on and the other powerful options you have, even if this STR Pan gets a pretty good EZA, there's probably not many settings where you're going to be running her and the B Pan as like a main rotation, but still be interesting to see what they do with her as well. So, and then in terms of new units, or well, EZAs count, I guess, but in terms of the new units, the other one that we have upcoming, which is only like a day or so away now, is the new LR Kid Gohan, which if I'm right in saying is the new Prime Battle LR. Is that right?
Correct.
So, yeah, we have the Kid Gohan. So obviously they're sticking with the trend with these Prime Battle LRs of having the flat boost numbers. But there's some pretty big numbers, and he has some pretty high stats as well from what I've seen. So what are your initial impressions on this Prime Battle LR Kid Gohan?
I would say he's really like when you get him in that Goku rotation with him, he's like after he supers like 300k defense. He does like a 4 or 5 mil attack stats. He has a nice link set overall. He actually has the highest HP stat in the game, I believe, because without any equips or anything, he's at like 29k HP. But you know, with HP that high, if you bring him on like a leader skill, that has like even 170% HP or something like that, you know, that could add a lot of extra HP to your team compared to like a TUR that has like 16, 17k, for example. It's a huge boost right there. And in Super Battle Road, he has the option to get that damage reduction, key 12 guaranteed crit. I just feel like it's a little unfortunate that he's kind of restricted to the Goku family team when it doesn't really need as many buffs, if that makes sense, compared to like Exploding Rage.
I hate him because he's just the same thing as the other LR Kid Gohan. I don't understand why they did that. Both of them just need to be next to Goku. And the thing is, honestly, in situations where I'm using them and have him next to a Goku, I probably would just want to run the physical LR instead with the actual guaranteed damage reduction next to Goku, right? Like, why would you run this one? Just get a little bit more extra damage? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't really know what they were going for with this Prime Battle LR here. The only thing I can think
if
of,
they bring a Saiyan Saga category.
Yeah, I think the physical Kid Gohan, they might not count him for Saiyan Saga, and then that's where this Gohan would be relevant.
I guess maybe also if you are a newer player, it's easier to farm up the Prime Battle LR than it is to get like the Rainbow, the physical Gohan, and get his EZA obviously as well. There's quite a lot of Super Battle Roading to be done to get that fully done. So I guess for newer players, this Gohan would be the more viable option. But yeah, he seems interesting. I guess also he gives you that option. He's the free-to-play Exploding Rage leader with a pretty decent leader skill. So I suppose there is that as well. It's nice to see the Prime Battle LRs getting these more like slightly up-to-date leader skills, because it's the same sort of numbers that we're seeing from like summonable LRs, like from the previous meta, like 4 key and 130. So it's a pretty solid leader skill for Exploding Rage. So we'll obviously have to wait and see. The event comes out in, the wiki says it's like a day and 8 hours from now, so not too far away, and then we'll actually get to see what he does. Obviously, when these Prime Battle LRs come out, there's no bonus drop category or anything straight away, is there? They normally wait until they do the like legendary campaign before they add something like that. So yeah, I think that is, unless you guys have anything else you want to bring up and we move on, I think that's everything for JP.
Yes, I believe so.
There is also a double rates banner coming up with some tournament power characters, but I mean, we don't know many details about that, right?
Oh yeah, true. I saw the banner for it because it's one of the girls. Is it one of the girls that Roshi fights?
It's Margarita. Margarita is the Universe 11 angel, and then it's one of the girls that lost to Roshi.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as soon as I saw the art, I assumed it would be Belmod's angel, because obviously we have the Universe 11 category in the game, so that kind of makes sense. There would be her. So we know that they're coming on that banner, but we don't know anything about them yet. I would assume that banner is probably a skip for most people, but
we don't know the weaknesses for Vegeta and the Peppy Girls EZA either. They'll add that into the news later. They've done
Vegeta's weakness will be Peppy Girls.
I doubt it. Right.
Amazing. I imagine, what is it going to be? Are they going to go the route, because obviously he uses the final explosion against Majin Buu, so if you had to make a prediction, are they going to go the route of it being either, say, Majin Power or Artificial Life Forms, or are they going to go more for like other World Warriors or Super Saiyan 2 because of his fight with Goku?
No, I think it would be related to Buu, is my guess.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I guess, like you said, that one's a little ways away, so we will find that out soon. I imagine with the wait that we still have for that EZA, we'll probably end up talking about him a little bit more on the next episode anyway. So I think that is everything for JP. So moving over to Global, obviously part 3 of the anniversary is now live. I say now, it's been, 2 days? Came out Thursday evening, I think, for me. Early Friday morning. So everything is available now, all the God stages, so you can get access to the Zeno support memory, which is very powerful. I tried that out today for the first time in the GT Goku event, and obviously that makes
Pretty good, huh?
yeah, an extra 10% attack and defense for the entire event. You can't really complain about that. So
and it's like a B-pan effect too, so pretty good.
now the one thing you can complain about, and I did see the homie himself tweeted it, because I too was quite looking forward to it, but we so far have not yet gotten, and there doesn't seem to be anything in the news about it yet that I can see. We did not get that thing that JP got. I think you guys got it in part 2, that allowed you to see a bunch of stats.
17 and Golden Frieza. 17 and Golden Frieza came out is when it dropped.
Yeah, so it let you see a whole bunch of stats on your account. I can't remember exactly what they all were, but if you guys can remember, it was a whole bunch of stats for your account.
It was like
how many Cybermen have you beat? How many Senzu have you used? Right?
Zenny
how much
accumulated, I
energy have you
think.
used? How
The
many
most important
summons have
thing
you
is
done?
obviously the character, so that's the one.
Yeah, I think that was the one people wanted to see. Was it top 5 or
top 3?
Top 3.
I wish it was more than top 3, because like if you played World Tournament, that's
Yes,
the 3 is
STR
gonna be
Broly,
on there.
basically.
Yeah,
Or Jacko and Chelsea.
Jocko and Chaozu too.
Yep.
Yeah, my 3 was STR Broly, Turles, and I think it was Chaozu.
Amazing. You just think, I mean, obviously, yeah, repeated in that event over and over so many times, but yeah, those being on your most used unit list. SR Chaozu, let's go. So
The ultimate Chaozu.
what a beast. The funny thing is, I always see when like world tournaments going on, whether I'm streaming or just tweeting about it or whatever, the number of people that are like, where do you get this Jacko or Chaozu from? So it's just a summonable SR. So there you go. Who says summonable SRs aren't useful? Speaking of other things to complain about, everybody's favorite until it gets its update with, I think, the Janemba one on JP. We have another chain battle coming up, which is the full power Jiren. So the Jiren special categories are Powerful Comeback, Reps of Universe 7, and Universe Survival Saga. Obviously, you guys had this on JP for the anniversary. How did you find this one compared to some of the other ones?
I just felt like a typical chain battle to me. I don't know. There's
I agree. I mean, if you have the new units, it's going to be probably pretty easy. If you don't, I mean, it'll be okay. But it's just a typical chain battle. Nothing special.
Yeah, well, I mean more in the sense of, because we've seen a couple now where it's varied, where like just even being able to break 100 million is difficult enough that will probably end you in the top 1%. And then obviously some of the ones that we've seen recently, you got to be looking at like 150 million to get into the top 1%. So I know it differs for global from when it was originally on JP, but what was this one like?
Well, this one there shouldn't be any differences with this one, right? Should be exactly the same.
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah. So I guess
I don't think it'll be hard to hit top 100 mil.
No.
Where there's 100 mil. But if you're talking about like top 1%, that's where it may get a little more difficult, because some people are gonna have like the TUR and SSR rainbowed for the LRs and stuff like that. So
yeah, exactly. Somebody out there pulled all my copies of Vegeta, so has the TUR rainbowed for you to use as a friend as well. So yeah. Yeah, I guess that is always the thing that is the most irritating about chain battle, is I guess you just got to hope that you get one of those friends that's got the teams that you need. So, but yeah, overall, pretty much that's it for the anniversary. Obviously, the chain battle comes out fairly soon. All the other events are still on. The missions are all still available. If you haven't finished any of them, make sure you get your 66 tickets and do your summon. Hopefully you get better luck than I did, but I mean, that's the problem when you already have a bunch of LRs rainbowed, but make sure you get those done. We did get another top grossing recently where we got a bunch of extra rainbow tickets, which was nice. I don't know if we are going to get, I think we got it last year on Global, and I can't remember if JP did, where towards the anniversary, there's that one last, like, thank you reward
Yeah, okay,
thing.
so that's a good thing to segue to, because with that is when JP got the notice about the same name update coming in the future, right?
Because
But
that
on
was
Global, it's apparently already implemented in the update. All they have to do is literally just say like, oh, now it's on. So it's conceivable that would happen, that day Global gets the last bonus and they say, oh, you can now do this. You can now use these units, right? Like,
yeah,
so we'll see.
Because in JP, like, they introduced it, and then it technically came out after Goten and Trunks released, which really helped their team out, like, especially if you already had them. But on Global, since, like Truth said, it was already implemented, they could be like, oh, same name update, have fun. And that's that, you know?
Yeah, just flick the switch and turn it on. So yeah, maybe that will be right at the end of the anniversary. That'll be a good little bonus, especially because, you know, we had the discussions back when the anniversary was going on JP. A lot of, especially with the UI Gokus, there's a lot of stuff from the anniversary that definitely benefits from having the same name update live in the game. So hopefully that is going to be coming soon. And then after that, I guess, with the anniversary all wrapped up, the worldwide celebration looms on the horizon. But I guess we would assume that next up on Global will be the Videl Dokkan Fest. So, yeah, always an interesting situation for Global this time slot because it's right before the worldwide celebration. You guys alluded to it a little bit earlier when we were talking about Vegeta. I think it might have been before we actually started the podcast. But with how crazy good he is, the worldwide celebration units are potentially going to be insane because, I mean, we remember when, you know, Vegito and Bootanks first dropped last year. It was very evident straight away how crazy good they were. So the worldwide celebration this year, obviously you never know, but potentially the units are going to be at that same kind of, you know, new top of the mountain sort of level. So with how good Videl has been rated by people when she came out on JP, what do you say to people who are conflicted about the upcoming Videl Dokkan Fest banner?
If there are discounts,
dude,
summon.
she is so good, but you never use her. Where are you using her? Like, if you're struggling to beat Majin Buu Extreme Super Battle Road, or you can't beat Peppy Gal Extreme Super Battle Road, sure. But like, a lot of she doesn't come out and it's like, oh, like now she can carry you to victory in this one stage. There's nothing like that. She doesn't work that great in Battlefield because she doesn't work with all those good STR Saiyans, right?
Yep.
Like, that's the problem with Videl. She's really good, but you really got to go out of your way to use her.
I would say there are, of course, posts of people where they beat all 12 stages of the God event with Videl. So, I mean, if you get her, she would be able to help you as long as you have the right units on her team, you know?
Yep. I mean, a lot of that is, you know, which specific characters run every single one of those runs, though, right? Like,
Bro, like
having the Universe 6 girls on the team helps out quite a bit.
Oh, yes. Yeah, so she's a very strong unit. Minato mentioned something which I think I would probably give as general advice as well, because we've seen that a lot with Global recently. They're going to want you to summon on this banner before the worldwide celebration comes, so you're then going to have to restock your stones. So it definitely is likely, obviously we don't know, but it's definitely likely that this banner could have either discounted multi, a couple of discounted multis, maybe even like the guaranteed featured on step 3 kind of thing. So obviously all that remains to be seen. If they have something like that, then maybe it's worth a try. But yeah, other than that, I think saving for the worldwide celebration is definitely going to be your next big thing on Global. So you still got a couple of days login bonus. You'll get a couple of extra rainbow tickets. But at this point, I think the main goal should be saving for the worldwide celebration. So a little bit off topic. It's not listed on the outline that I made here. But just as we move in towards the end here, what are our thoughts about worldwide celebration? Because obviously with the whole baby leak that turned out to be incorrect, that kind of justified what we'd been thinking already, that it was going to be GT. Now we got Super Vegeta instead, and for the last couple of years the Dokkan Fest before the worldwide celebration on JP has kind of been on theme for the worldwide celebration. So do we think that theme is going to have changed? Do we still think it's JP? What do you got, GT even? What do you guys think?
It's going to be a Super Saiyan Goku that revives into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan with the Bye Guys animation, but you almost never see it.
Interesting.
I'm leaning toward Android Cell Saga myself, because secretly in the background, they've dropped a couple of buffs for that category even before this celebration has started, right? And now I'm really thinking, like, yeah, it's probably Android Cell Saga.
I feel like it would be a lot of options, though. They've been doing that for, like, so many teams, like Movie Heroes, again, like you said, Android Cell Saga, for example. GT still, they've been dropping some stuff for GT, you know, here and there, so you never really know, dude.
I mean, Pan's getting her EZA, right?
Exactly.
True. Well, I mean, I guess
dude, you laugh. That Pan is going to be a defensive juggernaut.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Jimmy,
absolutely.
so good. We got the GT Goku and Oob EZAs.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, they're good. They're great. Yeah, Majub in Legends and Dokkan right now is amazing. I love it.
Love to see it, dude.
Oob fans feasting right now. There you go. So, but I mean, I guess that is a good point because like GT did get another like dual celebration for the first time ever. What was, I guess, technically was the Golden Week celebration was on both versions at the same time. Introduced GT heroes and GT bosses. A lot of good new GT units. So I
And
guess it's still not. Come.
Those GT Super Saiyan units, based on like past trend, the Golden Week units on GP have always returned on the worldwide banners since the worldwide banners we've been having them. So they should be slated to return on the worldwide as well, which could be another hint.
Yeah.
Since they're both, it was the same time celebration for both versions. There's probably a reason why beyond having same time, you know, if you want to go like that.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. It means that is still the possibility because obviously timing wise. They haven't returned on either version yet. They came out at the same time. So what better time for them to come back than on another Dokkan Fest that is on both versions at the same time. So yeah, who knows? It'd be interesting to see what that's going to be. As always, just speculation for now. As soon as we know more, you guys will know too. But yeah, I think that is going to be it for us here. Do we want to take a quick break and then take some questions from the chat, or how you guys feeling this evening?
I'm fine with either way.
Truth, what do you want to do?
Sure.
You want to do that?
Sure.
You guys want to ask Truth and Minato or me some questions? We'll go on a very short break, put some questions in the chat, and we'll probably come back and do a few questions before we head out for the evening. So go take a break, grab a drink, whatever. Post a question if you want, and we will be back with you guys very soon. Okay, so we are back. I'm not seeing a huge amount of questions in the chat, but there are a couple, so I'm going to go ahead and read them out here. So the first one, I thought this was actually a serious question, but the first one addressed to Truth. It says, what goes through your mind when you see someone has free to play in their name?
I enter super serious sweaty mode, right? Like, you know how Gohan looked at Cell after that he sent the Cell Juniors out? That's how I get.
Oh, is this a Legends related question? Oh,
Yeah.
I see. So somebody, MX, I should have said who it was, Yanni. MX Jolds asked, is it worth to buy Int Rose with yellow coins? Because LR Goku Black might get his EZA soon.
No.
Nope.
No way.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Okay,
At
well.
the very least, wait to see what the Tech Black does, but even then, I would say no. There's way better options with yellow coins.
Yeah, because In Rose seems cool, but like he's actually one of the LRs that I haven't yet pulled. And like for me, when I got up to 500 coins, I just bought my first Super Turles because I use him all the time. So there you go. I guess that is a pretty unanimous no. We have Pocket Compass says, I think this is in terms of the worldwide celebration. What if it's a unit that transforms 4 times like the Goku, Frieza, and Vegeta? It's been a minute since we had one of those. What do you guys think? I feel
That
like
would work well with Cell, I think.
yeah, Cell.
Yeah, it could be like, what if it's like base Gohan, Super Saiyan, then Super Saiyan 2, then Cell's like first, second, and perfect or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
That'd be
that could
cool.
be interesting. I think the problem is with that Goku, Frieza, and then the Vegeta is because they only are in each of those forms for one turn. All of the forms that are like between the first one and the last one are just not really very interesting. So I think it's probably better to do only like they're doing with some of the units now, where they transform and then have an active skill or whatever, where you only really have like 3 forms, maybe 4, because then each one can actually have their own interesting abilities. But you never know; it could be a thing. And then I think that might be it.
Well, there's more questions in chat now.
Oh, there's another one. Do you think there's a chance of worldwide being LR Ken Goku and Great Ape Vegeta? I mean, I guess it's a
There's a
possibility,
chance.
but
Because they've been buffing Saiyan Saga a lot. Like with that Gohan, for example, is one of the Saiyan Saga units we've been getting. It's like very slight, but it's very like, I would say there's very big gaps between each Saiyan Saga little buff we get. So you never know, I guess.
it could be anything. So I guess to close it, there are a couple of questions coming in now, but to close it out here, a lot of these are about the worldwide celebration. So what would make the worldwide celebration a great celebration as a whole? So Dokkan has definitely been having some really good celebrations lately. What do you guys think makes a celebration like top
How many
tier?
EZAs? How
Yeah.
many EZAs is very important. Like, if they give like a 10, 12 EZA units during worldwide, people are gonna be like, "Oh my god, that's insane! So many stones, blah blah blah."
That way they
and, like,
could do the EZA immediately in like 30 minutes, and then say there's no content. Just speed run it, and then say there's nothing to do, dude.
I mean, a new difficult content event, like if it's like GT based, like a God event based around the Shadow Dragons would be cool, for example.
Yeah, that could be interesting. But yeah, I guess a lot of it's up in the air. Worldwide celebration. Who knows? The sky's the limit. It could be all sorts of things. And like I said earlier, when you guys know, keep everything locked into 5-9. As soon as we know, we'll let you guys know. So we are going to call it a day there. I want to thank Truth and Minato for coming on. Obviously, shout out to our boy Troco for manning everything behind the scenes. And shout out to all of you wonderful people for coming out and spending your time here with us for episode 44 of the Dokkan Battle Podcast. If you came in late or you're coming in just in at the end, you can catch it tomorrow on the YouTube channel. So make sure you are subscribed and following us across all of our social media. So for Truth, Minato, and myself, the Masked Ningen, and Troco, we'll throw Troco in there. And it is goodbye from us, and we will see you all again soon. Have a good one.